cat in the wall, eh? Okay, now you're talking my language.
Do you ever drunk Baileys from a shoe?
Oh, great. Thanks, Mother, for replacing the baby aspirin with LSD.
How much you want to make a bet I can throw a football over the mountain?
All right. Merry Christmas, you filthy animals. It's week one of the Buckeyes season, of the college football season, officially here now. Forget Notre Dame and all that crap that happened last weekend. Doesn't even really count. But we are ready. Ohio State travels to Bloomington, 3:30 on CBS. And it is time, Casey Dyer, the Dyerwolf. What are you expecting? What are you hoping for? What do you want to see? There's so much going on. We got a lot going on here Saturday.
Oh, gosh. I don't know if I'll have enough time. Let's see here. I think what I'm most excited about is the defense. We're not going to learn a whole lot because Indiana poop, but the guys running all around the field, I want to see some sacks in this game. Guys finally actually getting to the quarterback. It's funny, like this whole offseason, it's been the quarterback battle, but that's one thing I'm like, Like I want to see it, but I don't think it's as big of a deal as other things that I want to see. I want to see Travion have that burst that I know he's got that he wasn't showing last year. I want to see Carnell Tate maybe catch a few balls. I'm excited to see freshmen that are actually going to get playing time apparently, and the transfers. The quarterback actually one of the lowest things, ironically, that I'm wanting to.
You are a man on an island, probably, on that thought.
Yeah.
Is that Travion stuff that has anything to do with any bets you may or may not have made recently? Is why you want to see that burst?
I don't think so. I just
my man is banking big on Travion having a nice year, nice bounce back year. But since you are the only one who doesn't care about the quarterbacks, I'm still going to talk about him. Kyle Mccord named the starter, making us look stupid for our preview since we couldn't figure it out either, and just said we both kind of thought they were leaning towards Brown because of what was going on. And here's what I've decided about this whole situation is we all got played by day, and you and I talk about all the time how you can't trust him. And then we got basically one guy, Zach Smith, don't even listen to him ever because he's wrong most of the time, saying that Devin Brown's going to be the starter in Buckeye media, gets everybody riled up, ends up being wrong. And the thing I know is nobody knows anything besides Ryan Day of what he's going to do. Nobody knows. I don't even think the quarterbacks know.
Yeah. I will say I'll back up a little bit. I mean, I care about the quarterback battle, but I don't think we're going to learn much in this game about them because they're both going to play. If McCord goes 5 for 5 in his first drive, throws a touchdown, who cares? It's Indiana. I mean, that'll be nice to see, sure, but I don't think we're going to learn as much as seeing the defense just absolutely dominate. I'd be more happy to see that.
I don't think either matter because I think Indiana's the worst team in the Eastern Division of the Big Ten for sure. It's kind of like an NFL Combine type game. You can't really do much to impress me in this game, but you can do enough stuff to make me worry. So if this new look offensive line that we have coming in with have some struggles or McCord also struggles because of that line, or we can't open up holes suddenly against Indiana, which we ran wild. Mayan Williams had like 189 yards and 3 touchdowns last year against them. I'll be worried if we offense doesn't look at least kind of good, and I'll be really worried if the defense looks bad because Indiana was a bad offense last year, and they may be worse. They have like the 107th most production returning in the country. Like they are, and Tom Allen is not an offensive genius. We know that. There's not a bunch of offensive geniuses running around there. Their leading receiver last year is back. He had 600 yards, like 559, and like 200 of them were in one game last year. Like they're just not a good team. They lost their quarterback. Nobody really knows who their quarterback's going to be still. They haven't named one. They're a mess. Tom Allen's going to get fired after this year. That's my big prediction for this week.
I want to see 0 big plays by them. Like nothing over. I'll be okay with like a random 20-yard catch or something, but no more than like 25, maximum 30 yards. If anything is more than that, I'm not going to be happy.
Unless it's kind of a trick play like they hit us last year. The only points they scored last year were basically set up by like a 70-yard bomb when they had the Wildcat QB in, and all of a sudden he chucked one up and we weren't ready for it.
Yep.
If that happens, I'm okay with it. I mean, shit like that's going to happen against teams like this, but overall, we don't. Yeah, you're right. I don't want to see what ailed us last year against a team that doesn't have playmakers to be making plays against our defense, and I don't think we will.
No.
We shut down these type of teams last year. We shut their ass down last year, and we should be better. Let's talk about some spreads and some over-unders, though, real quick, because we've already previewed. Check out all our previews for the offense and defense. Not much has changed besides Kyle Mccord being named the official starter. But, again, it doesn't sound like that's set in stone. Maybe, maybe not. I think it is, unless he fails, that he's going to be starting the whole year now. But we'll see. I think we're minus 30 right now. Is that where we're at still?
I think so. Yeah.
It was 30 and a half. It's dropped a little bit.
It's like right there. Like
yeah.
Touching that on the line.
No, I don't like that line. I don't like any lines yet. These new college rules, something we never hit on in our previews. The clock running now, more similar to the NFL besides last 2 minutes of quarters, I think.
Might be last 2 minutes. Is it every quarter?
I can't remember. It doesn't matter. Basically, there's 8% fewer plays so far the first 7 games last week that happened. And it didn't shorten the games, actually, for your viewing pleasure. They only 8% fewer plays, 1.5% fewer actual runtime. So they just told us they were trying to shorten the game so it's a better experience, and they just jammed a bunch more commercials in. Here you go. F you, NCAA. I mean, this TV crap, whatever. That's a whole nother thing.
I didn't think about that. Maybe the unders will hit a lot more this year.
Unders were 4-3 last week, but the spreads, the underdogs were 5-2 last week, which makes me want to stay farther away from the spread until we get a pace. And my thought, I think we cover. I do think we cover. My first thought was like 38-7 when I saw who's quarterback. That I don't think we're going to come out guns blazing, most likely, because they're not a terrible defense. They're not a good defense at all, don't get me wrong, but they're not one that you're just going to necessarily run roughshod and like everywhere on your – like last year we didn't pass for that many yards against them because we were running so well. But they like kind of made that their goal. Tom Allen's not a doofus on defense, so with our new line, new quarterback, getting used to everything, I don't expect us to like go all nuts on them. So I like the under, though, 59.5, because I don't think Indiana's doing shit against our defense just because I think they're bad and we're better.
Yep. I'm almost exactly the same. I'm thinking like 42-10. I do think they get a squirrely touchdown in there one way or another, maybe at the very end, maybe actually. Seems like sometimes those come early and then Justin just shut them the hell down the rest of the way. But I wouldn't be surprised at all if we come out kind of slow and maybe it's like 17-3 at halftime or something like that, and then just like score the opening 3 drives of the second half. Kind of slow down. But I wouldn't be surprised if we don't score in the first drive. That's not going to shock me at all.
I won't be surprised if we don't score in the first quarter. Like they're not much that could happen will surprise me. If we go nuts, it won't surprise me. If we get shut down, it won't surprise me. This could go a lot of ways because they're bad. We're good but inexperienced, and there's a lot of new moving parts. So a lot of things happen. I'm most excited, I think, to see Travion. I'm with you. Things are sounding good. There are little bits and pieces coming out, even though Day hates letting that happen. That Travion's looked really good in this fall ball, and obviously when he's 100%, he's absolute game changer. And I do like your little high. He's still plus 8,000 on a couple of the sites. $5 to win 400. I think I might have to do that to win the Heisman. Sorry, that's to win the Heisman.
I did just say Heisman finalist. I wonder. I haven't found anywhere where you can bet on that. But
I'm sure there are spots, but not readily available in the state of Ohio yet.
Yeah.
But I'm most excited to see Sonny Styles on defense. I want to see what this new wrecking machine. I mean, Malik Hooker's probably the last time we had a complete game wrecker at safety, and he's different style, but we're going to be seeing Sonny's way bigger and more physical. Probably doesn't have the ball skills that Hooker had, but to see somebody that can go out there, be like a Troy Polamalu or Isaiah Simmons or something like that, that just is all over, that can play at any level and just completely wreck a team. Oh, inject it into my veins. Let's do it. Let's do it. Football's here. Let's go.
Him and Tommy, man, I think they're gonna just wreck shit this year.
And you're right. I want to see some sacks too, because
Yes,
we haven't done it for years. They are breaking in a whole bunch of new guys on their line too. New quarterback. We should be getting after them all day. That D line should dominate. Our O line should dominate too. Although they have some transfers on defense. Indiana, 23 transfers plus their freshmen. They got like over half their roster got turned over.
yeah. I don't know how you could possibly like make a realistic judgment call on this game based off all those transfers, except for they're probably gonna suck.
Probably. All right. Well, we can move on from this game a little bit though, because we don't have enough to preview because we don't know much about Indiana or ourselves really. But we got cut off at the end of the last podcast because somebody's phone died. And we were right at who we thought had a good bet on the Big Ten championship is where we left off at. And since then, my odds and I never placed the bet yet because I've been waiting till like the last minute, like I like to do, to bet on Penn State. It's down to plus 550 now instead of plus 600, which I hate. But it means the money's coming in on them.
Yeah.
And we're still very slight favorites. They're around plus 180, and Michigan's like plus 185. It's like neck and neck. So would you just put it on one of the two big juggernauts and hope they pull through, or would you throw a little coin on Penn State? I don't think anybody out of the West has a legit shot to win, and nobody else in the East either.
I don't like those odds at all for us, and I'd cut my dick off before I'd bet on Michigan. I'd probably go with Penn State as the quote unquote underdog. My next one would be Wisconsin, though, for sure.
Yeah, Wisconsin. The more I think about it, the more I see mediocrity for them this year. Just because they're changing so much so quick, it's tough to do, especially offensively. And they're not the best offense in the world to begin with. So they could struggle even more.
Air raid.
Yeah, air raid when you got the best running back in the conference.
Yeah.
And he's going to run out shotgun all the time now when he's a freaking downhill horse.
Yeah, it's going to be weird.
I would trust Fickle long term there, but this year, I mean, it's not like he went and shredded it his first year at UC.
Yeah.
Heisman odds, though, we'll go with that too, real quick. I think you can get McCord at like plus 2,500, which is terrible. You could get Marvin at plus 3,000. Does that interest you?
That interests me a lot more than McCord because we don't even know for sure that he's going to be the damn starter for the whole season.
Right. So, there's several like Drew, like Penn State still hasn't named a starter. Actually, I mean, we all assume Drew Aller. Yeah, I don't know what they're doing, but he's at the same like plus 2,500. I'm like, he may not even start.
What's like Marvin compared to Trey?
Marvin's 3,000 and Trey's 8,000, so you're getting way better juice on Trey. I would go with Trey.
I don't think. I mean, Marvin's a beast. Don't get me wrong at all. He's probably the best overall football player in the whole country, but the man is he's gonna take a bunch of touchdowns away from him and yards.
It's just so hard. We have so many weapons. We got a new quarterback who, I mean, McCord in theory is going to throw it to Marvin a lot because they played together in high school, but I just don't see I don't know. I just think there's going to be too much focus on him from defenses. Yeah, and it's tough to put the only receiver that's won that's been a pure receiver, and he's pure receiver. I guess would be Devontae Smith, but he returned punts that year.
Yeah, Devontae Smith. That's what I meant. Yeah, and he had like almost 20 touchdowns, I think, like 18 or 19 maybe.
Insane. I mean, all of his stats were insane, but it was like he was kind of under the radar coming because Waddle was who everybody was game planning in the offseason for. Yeah, and then he got hurt.
Yeah,
but then you're game planning first, second, third person you're game planning for on our offense is Marvin Harrison Jr. this year, or you're gonna lose.
Yeah, it might actually be a better bet to bet on Ibuka.
I don't think either one's got a shot. It's just hard. Sam Hartman, by the way, went up to from like plus 3,000 or 4,000 to plus 1,600 already against Navy. I mean, I was impressed, but it's still Navy.
I mean, if he goes out there and has 4 touchdowns and beats us, he's like all of a sudden the favorite.
Well, I don't think I want to think about that.
I don't either, but just saying.
Something you said earlier about chopping your own dick off. I think that's about how I feel about that.
Yeah.
All right. Well, as we do at the end of all these podcasts, now that we have an official quarterback named, are we going to win the national championship this year with Kyle McCord, Casey?
Yes, God damn it, we are.
You're goddamn right we are. Even though we're going to go 10-2 like I predicted, but we're still going to win the national championship. Bold prediction for the year. Wrong. Next year, maybe.
Yeah, that's definitely possible next year.
All right. Well, that'll do it for us, though, for this preview. Try to make them a little shorter this year. Get them in. Get them compact. At least week 1. I probably won't be able to do that, though. I like to talk too much. But I'm just Matt. That's Dyerwolf. Please like, subscribe, comment, follow us on X at View from CDEC, and we will see you guys next time.
Hey guys! Whoa, big gulps, huh? All right. Well, see you later.
A rich man's world.